4 legs and a flat thing. What is not to trust? Who hurt you? Who did something to you? This is weird. So we're eating here. Also, I don't have real people plates. They're not called people plates. They're just plates. Sir, you are such a mess. You're such a mess. What is this? Oh, I forgot how harmonious that first, you know. But yeah. Good morning. This is Calamity calling, and I have been away from Dream Daddy for about a week now. And in my week away, I decided I don't want to pursue Matt. I feel like I would have a fantastic friendship with him. But that's not what I'm looking for here. I am looking for my dream daddy. So, haven't really decided which dad I'm going for to be like my daddiest of daddies. So I'm just going to roll with it and see what opportunities present themselves. But I don't think Matt is the path I'm going to go with. And I'm definitely not going to go with that blonde dude. Because he has a wife. No. If a relationship is involved, that I'm not even approaching it. Whew. And I really want to change how my character looks, because the more I see his face, the more I want to punch him. But anyway, whilst I'm doing my afternoon word jumbles, I hear the mail truck pull through the cul-de-sac. I wonder if we got any coupons today. The nice mail person slides a couple of letters in a large yellow envelope through the slot. It takes a couple of tries for them to get it in. Oh, maybe I should go for the sporty one. No, I don't like running. No. Mate, we'll just roll with this. We'll see where we go. Hey, my coupons! I take a closer look at the large yellow envelope. I lightly knock on Amanda's door. She probably has headphones on. Amanda? She yells through the door. What? I have something for you. I'm kind of busy right now. Can you come back later? Okay, just thought you'd want this big old envelope we got from HIA. Immediately, Amanda pushes her door open. What's HIA? Horn Institute for the Arts? I mean, if you're busy, I can come back. Father, please! I hand her the envelope, which she tears open with her teeth. That's probably bad for your teeth. She doesn't seem to hear me and spits out a piece of envelope. She is rabid. I love it. She pulls out a letter and unfolds it. And the suspense is killing me. This is her dream school. Amanda's face is unreadable. I can't believe this. Oh, honey, it's okay if you didn't. I got in! I'm so proud of my imaginary daughter. I got in! Amanda tosses the letter aside and, gives me a big hug. Congrats, sweetie, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. She pulls away and looks at the letter again. Oh my god, I really can't believe I got in. Well, of course you got in. You're a great student. You nailed that interview and your photography is incredible. Wait, Dad. I know this one's really expensive and it's so far away. Wait, hang on. Colleges, which is, English university, they cost different prices? Like here, as far as I know, there is a standard university price, so all your courses, etc. are, including tuition fees and whatnot, but not including course materials, are like $9,250, which already is a massive increase on where they used to be. They used to be like 3,000 and something. But there are different prices for different universities. That's ridiculous. You're not getting a better standard of education, especially not at the moment. Why? It'll be tough, but we're gonna make it work. Really? Education should never be behind a paywall. Education is something that everyone needs access to. I don't like that you have to pay to go into education, especially not in our society when so many jobs require a degree to even get an interview. That's just not fair. Anyway, of course, Amanda hugs me again. Thanks, Dad. Okay, sweetie. She better be bloody nice to me. With the amount her education is gonna cost. Be nice to me and tell me what's wrong and what's making you upset at school. We're celebrating tonight. Dinner. Your choice. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever, or wherever, Amanda and I walk along the bayside, tearing into our foil-wrapped burritos from a nearby food truck. That sounds amazing. I want that. That just doesn't exist where I am. I want food trucks. Well, obviously Corona doesn't help. You could have chosen anywhere in Maple Bay. Cost was not a determining factor. Please, Dad, you know I'm a simple gal. Just give me a Rito with a view. Can't say I'm mad. Amanda and I sit on a patch of grass and watch ships sail lazily through the bay. And the dorms are right near a bunch of cafes, and there are all these galleries nearby, and there's a discount if you bring your student ID, and... Amanda, slow down, you're gonna choke on your burrito. I know, I'm just excited. Did I mention that students get their own studio space once they're seniors? And we get all the professional... Aww. That's stuff that should come with your education anyway. They're the tools you need. But it's nice that they get that. It's nice to see Amanda so enthusiastic about HIA, but I wish she wouldn't do it in between bites of her burrito. I thought I taught her to chew with her mouth closed. I wonder who my roommate's gonna be. You take a survey online and they match you with someone with similar major and interests, I bet we're gonna be best friends. Craig and I were. A good roommate can be a lifelong friend, but don't even get me started on bad roommates. Oh no. I'm just kidding. We didn't have a bad roommate. Our only other roommate was a puppy that Craig brought home one night. We spent a semester fabricating a story about our new foreign exchange student who had a really bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark. That's actually a really smart idea. Also, how do people, and I see it on the internet, how do people just find animals? I have never in my life found an animal that wasn't like a slow worm or something. Like, I want to find a kitten. I will take that thing home and I will love it forever. Or a puppy or a little snake or but I don't care. Like, if it is a domestic animal and I find it, I will love it forever and I will keep it and it will be my new baby. But I've never in my life found a cat. How do people just find animals? How does that work? What magic is this? Oh, they let you have animals in the dorms if you get a note saying you need one. I bet I could forge one. I think I'd get a rabbit, or maybe a snake, or maybe both. But would the snake eat the rabbit though? Oh boy, I think I'll leave all that up to you. She's so excited. I don't want to disappoint her, but I need to be real for a second. So, you know I had that talk with Mr. Vega? Ooh, maybe he's an option. The moustache, though. The moustache. I was reading, I don't know why, but I was reading about moustaches and beards, and like so much food and other things get stuck into it even after you've washed your face. They're basically germ traps. I don't want to kiss something that could have like ick in it, you know? I don't want it. What, no? I don't want to put a damper on the good news, but I need you to knock it out of the park these last few months of school, okay? If you really want to go to Horns, we need that scholarship money. I know you can do it. Okay, I promise I'll try hard. She looks like she's about to cry. Pat her on the back. Think you can handle a 14-hour drive to come home for the holidays? There's going to be some treacherous ice roads to cross. Don't even get me started on the paranormal occurrences. Well, it'll be worth it if I get to see you. My eyes immediately well up with tears. Oh, Dad, don't cry. Sorry, I'm just very, very proud of you. You're all grown up now and you're such a good person, and I hope you know how important you are to me. Oh, that's the kind of wholesome, supportive relationship we want with our parents. Dad, stop. You're gonna make me cry too. It's too late, honey. It's happening. Dad, I can't get tears in my burrito. It's gonna make it taste sad. I pull Amanda in for a hug and kiss her on the forehead. Love you, kiddo. Love you too, Pops.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Ooh. Is this fate? Him popping up in my, or sliding into my DMs? Hey buddy, so I have a favour to ask. Robert invited me... Nah, that's my fun buddy. But then again, he's only my fun buddy. I have no he has no obligation to my time and advice. And I know it's kind of faux pas to invite another bro, but I've known the guy for years and I still can't get a good read on him, and I know it's going to be super awkward if I go myself. Will you please come with me? What do those emoji choices mean? Like, I get what the water one, spraying one, normally implies, but what does 3 fried eggs and a face mean? I love food. I especially love food that's free. And I don't know why you're so sweaty over cooking, but sure. Yeah, dude, I'm down. What's with all of the... Okay, we can call it sweat, but we all know it's not used for sweat, but... Why? I really hope that's a sweat of relief. I want a London cheesecake. Please, I know it's very specific, but I want him to serve a London cheesecake. It's not a cheesecake, it's puff pastry with jam and like desiccated coconut and sometimes frangipane, and it's delicious, and they only sell it in small places where I used to live, and it makes me sad because I can't find it where I am now and I want it. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about social time with Robert. Still, I guess free food is free food. Yeah dude, I'm down. Thank you! Craig and I decide to meet up before heading over to Robert's place. Can we get a little, like, going up? Why are you wearing your wrist thing? There's no need. Craig's waiting on my porch, bottle of white wine in hand.
Nice.
Cowboy, I am glad to see you. I don't like him anymore. Likewise, man. Classy of you to bring wine. Oh, it's not wine. It's sparkling apple cider. Robert literally has a wine cellar, so I think he's good. Wow. Or at least I think he has a wine cellar. I'm genuinely unsure if he was telling the truth or not. I could never tell with him. Thank God it's not just me. I never know. He's so deadpan about everything. I usually just laugh it off, but man, that guy's an enigma. I want to be on that enigma. I don't want the feelings for him. I just want to be on him, you know? Don't cockblock me tonight, sir. Anyway, but he's a dog. I'm so sad he didn't bring the baby. I love its little yellow socks. We start walking over to Robert's house. Does Robert even know how to cook? I have sincere doubt. Am I crashing a date, or is this a friend thing? I have sincere doubts about whether he even knows how to shave properly or iron his shirts. I feel like you learn to cook after you learn those two first.
Nice.
One time I saw him grab a hot dog from the trash can. I mean, it was the very top of the trash can, like sitting above it, but still, if he were on a trial, I think the jury would define that as in the trash. In his defense, I've definitely considered please tell me it was his hot dog at least, not just some random hot dog. Well, yeah, I think we've all considered it, but the difference is that Rob actually did it. True, maybe he's the enlightened one. Maybe we're holding ourselves back.
Nice.
We arrive at Robert's house and ring the doorbell, but the doorbell won't chime. Must be broken. Craig knocks on the door a few times. Since when does Robert have a dog? Dunno, it's weird. I can hear Robert just inside. 1 second! This is uncharted territory. What if he's the one making barking noises in there and there's no dog? Like their exchange student. Don't say that, we're not even inside yet. Finally, the door opens. Robert looks pretty stunned to see me and quickly adjusts his posture to try and hide it. This is gonna be weird, isn't it? No, because we discussed the terms prior. We just want to be on him. Not in his heart. I'm so about... I keep, like, yes, knowing about my bro from uni, because, like, here he runs. I don't. Fitness is one of those things that you can't just be a little bit into it, like you're either into fitness or you're not, and I'm not, and he is, so like I don't want to run. I will ride a bike next to you, I will encourage you, but I will not run. Nah. Ugh. Carl, didn't know you'd be tagging along. Did he think it was a date with him and I've just cock-blocked him? Oh no. Oh no! Did Craig not tell Robert I was coming? Come on, Craig. I can leave if there's not... No, it's fine. Come in, wipe your feet. You're telling me to wipe your feet and it looks like this, sir. We enter the living room, which is a lot more inviting than I remember it being. Make yourselves at home. We can still hear barking from the other room. I didn't know you had a dog, Robert. Yeah, that's Betsy. Have to put her up when guests are over. She'll calm down in a bit.
Nice.
Why are you saying nice to the dog having to be put away? What did the dog do? Make the dog stay. Make the guests leave. What kind of dog is she? Pitbull. Aww. She hates strangers. If I let her out right now, I'd probably have to take you both to the ER. Sir, I think your dog is a bit dangerous. Craig and I make eye contact. He raises an eyebrow at me. Oh, okay.
Oh.
But I gotta go finish dinner. Made osso buco. I don't know what that is. Robert leaves the room, presumably to go to the kitchen. Craig leads in and whispers. Was the dog fighting thing real or was he kidding? I don't know.
Dude.
What's osso buco? I don't know. Did he make up that word? Until I have osso buco in front of me, we can only assume so. We sit in silence for a second, taking in Robert's living room. Are we about to get sawed? Nah, usually you wake up in those situations. We voluntarily walked into this one, although he did look pretty shocked to see you. Maybe you being here threw off his plans. Did I cockblock? I don't want to. I don't want to be a cockblock, a clam jam, or any other thing of the kind. If it's two consenting adults and they both want to get off, I will wing woman that situation. I will not block that situation. Even though I want to be the one in the middle of that sandwich, I will not stop them from making their own sandwich. I'm just going really weird with the euphemisms today. This is so weird. Robert finally walks into the room carrying 3 paper plates of steaming food like a wait. Paper plates! Paper plates! Sir, you have a child! You have a home! You have a dog! You're a grown individual! Judging from the size of your damn TV, you have an income. Why are you eating on paper plates? With guests? No! I get, sometimes you can't be asked to wash up. I get it. But paper plates with guests? Sir. Do what you want. It's your life, but I do not approve of paper plates from this man. Yeah. Plus, paper plates get soggy. If this is a liquid-based dish, I will wear my dinner. I know I wasn't meant to be here, but I don't want to wear my dinner. I don't have a dining table. Don't trust them. It's 4 legs and a flat thing. What is not to trust? Who hurt you? Who did something to you? This is weird. So we're eating here. Also, I don't have real people plates. They're not called people plates. They're just plates. Sir, you are such a mess. You're such a mess. What is this? Oh, good Lord. He's a mess. Ah. Robert sets the plates in front of us on the... Do you know what? No. Judgment aside, he has made a nice meal. He has accepted a guest he didn't know that was coming. He deserves no judgment. I take it all back. He is trying his best. He does not have to apologise for not having plates. We are the guests. It is not our place to judge. I can't tell what it is. Looks like meat. Maybe. Lots of sauce, and I can make out some vegetables. I think it might be rice, but it could also be pasta. Guess there's only one way to find out. I take a bite.
Nice.
Oh my god. I take another bite. The medley of flavours in this dish is amazing. The meat is so tender, and the risotto, I think that's what it is. It's so creamy. Oh god, I want to eat that. I would eat that off a paper plate happily. Just let me at it. Robert, this is really incredible. You cook this? There's a pregnant pause as Robert formulates a response. It's like it's weird to get a compliment from me. I fished it out of a dumpster behind a restaurant. Or at least I think it was a... I know what I said about not judging, but he's feeding us food on paper plates. His house is a mess. And he got it out of a restaurant dumpster. Oh no. No. Oh, but he's doing his best. No more judgment from me about him at all whatsoever. He does not deserve it. He's trying his best.
Hey.
Can you believe people just throw this stuff away? I know, like, this sort of thing would be okay before, but we are literally in a pandemic right now, and I'm just thinking I've shoveled dumpster food into my face that some stranger has touched. Oh my god. I almost gag. I look over at Craig, who looks worried but still has his mouth full. He gives Robert a thumbs up. Glad you like it.
Oh.
Where did you learn to cook like this? Worked at a restaurant in Spain for a hot sec. Ooh, the food out there is good. Paella. Ah, when it has the actual seafood in. Oh. Oh. I've got to stop filming when I'm hungry. Is he messing with us? I decide to play along. You lived in Spain? After I dropped out of college, I went backpacking through Europe. Does he mean like Europe in the way that I've heard some Americans refer to Europe in that like it's all one great big homogenous country? Or is he saying he actually went to the individual parts of Europe because Europe itself is quite big? Just want to confirm which one. Crashing on couches, sleeping in hostels, wherever, totally broke. Worked a couple of odd jobs wherever I could to scrape together some cash. One night I'm eating dinner at this little restaurant just outside of Madrid. I go to pay before I realise I spent the last of my money on booze the night before. In the middle of ditching when the manager catches me and puts me to work in the kitchen. Long story short, they ended up liking me so much they offered me a job. Why not, right? Started living with some distant relatives on my ma's side. Over the course of 2 years I worked my way up from busboy to sous chef. Learned a lot. What is up with the weather? Like, 1 minute the sun is out and there's no clouds, so it's absolutely really very cold right now, and now it's absolutely torrential. Can you pick one? One only. Craig and I wait for the punchline. What night watchman did he swindle to get back to the States? Who did he con in a game of poker in the back room of a speakeasy for safe passage and crew quarters on a cargo ship? Anyway, I still love to cook. I don't know what's real anymore, but this food is good, so I don't care. Plus, Robert is actually talking to me like we're two people in the same room, which I guess is nice. That's amazing. Really is, to be totally honest. I wasn't exactly expecting gourmet cooking here, especially not served on paper plates. I don't care about presentation. If the food is good, it should speak for itself. That is true, but also paper plates split. And I don't want hot food in my lap. I have had that happen to me and it burns. It really burns. Buco is screaming for itself. And paper plates are just as good as regular plates if you double them up. They're not! If you try and like scrape the last of the sauce, you'll get paper fibres in your mouth. Hey, is it bad if I ask for seconds? No problem, but savouring for dessert. I made lemon berry savarin. What is that? I want a picture. Hang on, let me Google this. Well, aren't you just full of... No! No, he's becoming a three-dimensional person in my mind. I can't just hop on that if he's three-dimensional. No, stop it. Back in your box.
Hey.
Surprises. Robert winks. You bet I am. You can come over for dinner anytime.
Hey.
Craig. I feel like I've just been sidelined or insulted. Like, you know when someone makes a backhanded comment or backhanded compliment, and it takes you a minute, and you're like, oh, that's really nice, they liked my outfit, that makes me really happy, and then you sort of think back on it and you realize they actually said something really mean and you didn't realize it at first, and then all of a sudden you just sort of deflate and you're like, oh, I feel like that now. I'm gonna go get seconds. Me too. After consuming way more ossobuco than my body could handle, and then really ensuring a later food coma with a generous serving of whatever Savarin was, Craig and I decided to head out. Thanks for coming. I'm making an attempt to be more social. Something tells me he's not going to follow through on that. Man, if you'll have me, I'm here, especially if there's ossobuco involved.
Welcome. You've got dads.
I know we don't have that kind of relationship, and I don't want that kind of relationship with him, but that just felt mean. I'm not with your whole vibe. You'll be a great friend. I'm not into fishing, and you just scream outdoorsy. That's not me. You're married, so I'm not touching it. You were just mean to me, so you can right royally fuck off. Alright, Hugo. I'm about to hop on you. I feel like I've been rejected by an imaginary character. This is horrible. Brew tea and paint miniatures. I like tea. I like making things. If I had one thing to take on a desert island. You are bloody useless. What good's a book on that going to do? What are your turns on muscles? Well, I'm clearly lacking. I don't like history documentaries. We already know how it ends. I do like his ideal date, though. What do you never leave home without? My glasses. We can't have two blind people. I'm useless without my glasses. Like, I can't. The distance from here to here without my glasses on, my hand would be blurry to me. I'm that bad. So, like, we can't have two blind ones. But our babies would be absolutely gorgeous. I think with any of these dads, really, the babies would be gorgeous. I worry that people who are against e-readers are more... I worry that people who are against e-readers are more in love with the idea of books than actually reading them. That's a very good point, actually. I don't mind him. Damien, what's your story? Although I'm not into your vibe. Listen to true crime. No. Taxidermy, coffin. Bosom. Bosom? It's bosom, right? I do like horror films. Ah, that does sound really fun. Industrial Darkwave Club in Berlin. What is wrong with just normal? Let's have a look at you just because I'm curious. Good cardio? No. Energy bars? They taste like cardboard? No. Sub 6 minute mile? No! No! What? I am not fast! Buddy cop. Nope. No. No. We could be friends in real life, but that's as far as it's gonna go. I'm just not. I'm gonna look at your profile then. I do like slow cooked meat. I don't like rom-coms, but I like that he thinks about his daughter. That's sweet. I'm gonna look at his, but he was mean to me, so I'm not. Gun, not that useful because once you run out of ammo, you're stuffed. Don't talk to me. Grifter, Italian neo-realism, grave robbing, at least 4 knives. I don't like him. I'm going to look at his profile, but I'm absolutely not going for him. Do you know what? Nah. Nah. Hugo. I don't have muscles, but I have an appreciation for books, and that's like one of the things. And I would love to just be involved in an interest with someone else, but like just not talk. Just chill with each other in the same room, Just the comfort of someone's presence, but doing different things. That sounds good to me. I navigate to Hugo's dad book page and type out a message. Hey Hugo, great seeing you at the barbecue. Wanna hang out sometime? I wait a few minutes before the computer dings. I'm so glad you messaged me. I definitely want to hang out sometime, but I have a favour to ask. Our class is going on a field trip to the aquarium. I want to go to the aquarium. I love the aquarium. And one of the chaperones called out sick. Yes! Absolutely! I completely understand if you don't want to or can't make it, but I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm in the middle. It's the middle of the school class. I need to get as much help as I can. Yeah! I want to go to the aquarium. Amanda silently trudges into the kitchen and pours herself a bowl of cereal. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Pops. Hey, how was middle school for you? Bad, but nobody likes middle school. It's 3 years of bad acne crying and being generally terrible. Ha! Joke's on her! That doesn't end at middle school. That carries straight on through university and basically until your 40s. Ha! Joke's on you, girl. That's sad. Everyone sucks, no self-awareness, it's just a bunch of hormonal teenagers locked in a gross old building 40 plus hours a week doing long division and starting fights over, I don't know, pizza day? Top 40 spot. Yeah, that doesn't change when you get to work or when you start working. Change long division to pointless paperwork or research that your superiors or your boss or whatever you want to call it probably won't use, but they will insist it's very important that you do that work. And there will be fights started over things like what sport team people do things for. So yeah, that doesn't end. Sorry. Middle schoolers should be avoided at all cost. Was that your what was your middle school experience like? I did not like school. I liked learning. I hated arbitrary tests on what I'd learned because it wasn't actually testing how smart I was or what I knew about the subject. It was testing how many people's names I could vomit out, which is basically what university was as well. I just did not enjoy school at all. It wasn't fun. It was difficult, and unless you learn in a very linear fashion, it's just not for you. I had my first crush in middle school, and I'm still bitter about it. Alexis Stuggs, you hurt me and I'll never forget. What'd she do to you? I stare off into the middle distance, remembering the 24 hours that we dated, and the 3 times we held hands between class periods. Then I remember the bitter betrayal, her leaving me for Arnold Birmingham, making me eat dirt in front of her. I don't want to talk about it. How young is middle school? Is it like primary school? Like aged up to 11 years old kind of thing? See, middle schoolers are reprehensible. Wait, why are you asking me about middle school? Oh, Mr. Vega requested my help to chaperone his middle school class, the aquarium. Just wanted to know what I was in for. You get to go to the aquarium? Are you kidding me? The last field trip I got to go on was so clam chowder. What's clam chowder? Factory. They didn't even give us clam chowder. They gave us square pizza at a clam chowder factory. Oh, is that why you won't eat clam chowder anymore? No, it's because Bobby Wellingham threw up in one of the vats of clam chowder and I'm the only one who saw it happen. It haunts me. Oh God, no. Oh no, that means, The thought of that is, upsetting. Actually upsetting. Anyway, you should do it. You should just do it. Mr. Vega sounds like he could really use the help, plus you get to hang out with cool fish. Exactly, Amanda. I get kind of weird about aquariums. The ocean makes me nervous. Yeah, me too. It's really dark and really empty and you can't see the bottom and you don't know what's in there and I don't like it. What, are you worried about a whale is going to pop out of the touch tank and swallow you whole? They actually could not do that. Apparently the things in between their teeth are really small. That's why they eat krill. Don't put the fear in my heart. Well, do they have penguins there? Yes, they have penguins there. Yeah. Then it's settled. Penguins outweigh fear of ocean. I sit back at the computer and let Hugo know that I'm available. He tells me to meet him at the aquarium and gives me the address. I grab my keys and kiss Amanda on the forehead before I head out. I love the aquarium. I love it. I love it so much. I arrive at the aquarium to find the school buses have beaten me there. Preteens huddle around their teachers in small groups, yelling at each other and goofing off. Every teacher looks like they're at their wits' end. I did not need that noise right in my ear. Hugo jogs up to me looking frazzled. I'm so glad you're here. Hugo! It's been a debacle all morning. We're short-handed and most of the kids won't stop screaming, as I'm sure you know is the case with all middle schoolers. I lived through Amanda at 12, so it is that age group. I'm all too familiar. Great, well, it's just you and me chaperoning a group of 10 kids. They're over here. Aww. But at that age, they're screaming and they're weird and they're hormonal, but also they're cute because, you know, they're still developing their interests. Hugo walks me towards a gaggle of preteens who are all sitting on the ground playing with their phones. They're not kicking each other like some of the other groups, so we're off to a good start. Can you guys put your phones away? All of the kids look up for a moment to stare at Hugo. They then go back to texting. At least they're quiet. Too quiet. They're up to something. I can feel it. No way, they're too busy thinking about not getting food stuck in their braces to pull any stunts. Middle school, after all. We'll see. Oh, love the aquarium. Last time I went to the aquarium, there was a group of penguins who were playing, and I think they were like taught or they knew to play up to the crowd to get more snacks. And these ones just sort of skirted around the edge and soaked me, and it was really fun. The classes start filing into the aquarium and Hugo hands out massive staple packets of paper to each kid. These are due at the end of the field trip. Yes, this will be for a grade. No, you can't borrow a pencil. The kids collectively groan and grab the sheets from Hugo. What's in the packet? Honestly, it's just busy work so that the teachers can have a moment's reprieve. I like that he's honest about that. I think one of the questions asks them to sit quietly for 10 minutes and think about the Great Barrier Reef. Teacher hats. I like that. Wait, I thought you were an English teacher. What does the aquarium have to do with books? We just did a unit on the old man and the sea. Nothing quite like introducing kids to the futile perseverance of the human spirit by making them pet stingrays. Yeah, I want him as a teacher. He gives us time to check out some of the exhibits as well. Come on, they have a phenomenal selection of tropical fish. Okay, he's my favourite. I want him now. While the kids sit on the floor and pretend to do their assignments whilst they text, Hugo and I wander over to a large tank filled with brightly coloured fish. Hugo points to a brown and white fish with long spines. Zebrafish. That's right, there is a lionfish. Did you know that their stomachs can expand up to 30 times in size? Oh, you mean like us at Christmas. Whoa. Their spines are venomous too. Nature is hardcore. You think that's bad? Take a look at this one over here. Hugo points to a spiny, grumpy-looking fish hanging out near the bottom of the tank.
Hey.
That's a stonefish, the most venomous fish in the world. And they just, like, keep it here? Oh, they're relatively harmless so long as you don't step on them. What happens if you step on them? Oh, that's the tissue dies. Cool. Nature is wild. Man, Hugo seems to know a lot about fish. I feel the overwhelming need to impress him. No, I wanted to ask him loads of questions about all of the different fish. Hey, see that fish over there? That one? Yeah, that's the... That can't be a real fish, can it? The blue-nosed wiggly fish? Humphead wrasse sounds possible. Yeah? Did you know that? I didn't know it was... I don't know what I just clicked, but it was a good answer, clearly. Yay! I didn't know it was so progressive. Times are changing, man. Wait, are you serious? As a heart attack. We're talking fish here. There's no time for jokes. That's a clownfish. I did bad. Right. We lead the kids to another room. Sharks, sea turtles, eels, and other marine life swim around in a massive floor-to-ceiling aquarium. The kids begin trying to take selfies with the sharks. Hugo leaves my side to separate two kids who start fighting over a Capri-Sun. I walk around the room reading tiny little blurbs about different fish swimming inside the enclosure. After a while, I look around and see Hugo again. He's gazing up at the aquarium with childlike wonder. I want Hugo. Someone who can just appreciate the things around us. I want that. For someone surrounded by angry hormonal preteens, he looks completely peaceful. He looks really cute in this light. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. Wow.
Hey.
I walk over to join him. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay. I really want to say I'd rather stare at you. And then if he rebuffs me, that's fine. But I kind of want to let him know I'm interested. What? Oh no, I embarrassed him! Oh, I'm sorry! Hugo turns bright red. Maybe I put it on too thick. I mean, I'd rather not stare at you at all. Hugo looks confused. Great save. I mean, never mind. Forget I said it. Oh. I got too bad. I'm suddenly very sweaty. I search around a fish tank to dunk my head in to cool down. We stand together for a moment, admiring the wonders of marine life. Ooh, petting pools! I've never seen one of these in real life. We eventually make our way to the touch tank room, which seems to be the only thing the kids are actually interested in. The tank is filled with a variety of horseshoe crabs, sea urchins, stingrays, and small fish. I stand around the edges of the tank, keeping a wary distance from the sea life. Who knows what sort of nefarious plans those horseshoe crabs have for my well-moisturised hands. Hugo rolls up his sleeve and sticks his hand in the water. Yeah, somebody's willing to have a go. Don't you want to pet some rays, Cal? Oh, I think I'm good. I think I should stay over here and admire them from a respectable distance. Come on, it'll be fun and informative. Don't make fun of me, but I'm scared to touch them. I get weird when there's no glass separating us. I don't know what any of those stingrays things are, but I get the feeling they will probably bite me in my delicious hands given the chance. Nothing in this tank can hurt you. The stingrays have had their barbs removed. The horseshoe crabs only eat little clams, and the anemones are perfectly safe to touch. Against my better judgment, I approach the tank, slowly dipping my hand into the cold water. I touch a stingray as it glides past me. See? Not so bad. It feels like fun, slimy leather. Things get a lot less scary when you learn more about them, right? I dive my hand back into the touch tank with a renewed vigour for ocean life. I poke at some sea urchins and feel the hard carapace of a horseshoe crab. My hand brushes against Hugo's as we reach for the same anemone. I pull away, blushing. Hugo smiles at me. Hey, you're supposed to be touching the fish. Sorry, I just get a little carried away Wait, that girl over there looks suspicious. Why is that? Our backpack's usually wet. She's pinched a fish. Hold on. Susan! Susan, get back here! Hugo runs after a middle schooler and catches her before she can make it to the exit. Want to tell me what's in the bag? Textbooks? Want to tell me what's really in the bag? Susan won't budge. I walk over to Hugo and the girl. I think he might need a backup. Look, kid. That's an easy 5 to 10 in the clink. I had a bud go down for that once. He came out a changed man. Said he missed the bars. You're not a teacher. You can't tell me what to do. Yes, well, I am. Can you please put the bag down? Next time, we won't say please. Susan glares at Hugo for a moment before dropping her book bag on the floor. No, the poor fish inside is going to get all bumped about. Lands with a wet slap. We stare at it for a moment before it starts to move.
Huh?
Hugo leans down and unzips the pack. A horseshoe crab frantically scuttles out across the floor. An employee swoops in, scoops it up and places it back into the tank. She gives us a disapproving look. Jesus, Susan, what was your plan? I was trying to free him. To where? Outside? Where he was gonna die? Susan, go back to your group. We'll discuss this later. Yeah, and hands where we can see him. Susan sulks off, leaving me alone with Hugo. He gives me a pat on the shoulder. Middle schoolers have sticky hands. I doubt that's the first time that's happened here. Or the last. In the next room, we see a variety of smaller tanks. Sea urchins, tiny fish, and a rainbow of beautiful underwater plants around us.
Oh.
Look over here. Hugo points some seahorses. I love seahorses gathered around the bottom of the tank. One of them is in the middle of giving birth.
Oh.
That's actually the male seahorse. Sort of takes fatherhood to a new level, doesn't it? Hey kids, come check this out. There's a male seahorse giving birth. A low murmur from the students. They just jump back on their phones. Fun fact, male seahorses can even give birth and then get pregnant in the same day. Poor seahorse. Man, we thought we had it hard. I wonder if they have to deal with their kids' awkward teenage years too. All however many thousands of them. You seem to know a lot about marine life, Hugo.
Yes.
It's not really my speciality, but I do make a point to learn as much as possible whenever I can. And that is a very good attitude. I think that learning shouldn't end when you leave school. We should challenge ourselves to find out more about the things we don't understand every day of our lives. Because if you stop learning, I don't think you'll ever be able to grow or change as a person. Good point. But I still don't trust the ocean. We'll get there. We finally make our way over to my favourite part of the tour, the Arctic exhibit. Do we get to see the penguins?
Oh.
Yes, we get to see the penguins. Hell yeah! Ah, penguins! I remember when I was in school doing a whole report on emperor penguins. I liked them and their eggs and the way they waddle. And penguins give each other stones. Like, you're my favourite penguin, here has a stone, and I love that. That's so cute. Our group of kids run around the exhibits. They won't stop tapping on the glass of the puffin enclosure, trying to get their attention. For at least a few moments, teachers, chaperones and students alike seem to be having a great time. What was I worried about? Never say that. Tempting fate. This isn't too bad.
Whoa.
Hugo suddenly grabbed my arm. Oh my god, there's a student in the penguin enclosure. How did they even get there? Wait. Just kidding. It's very bad. Is it one of ours? Yep, Molly Henderson, Susan's friend. I look over to the penguins and see a determined looking kid crouching behind a rock. She's hiding just out of sight of one of the employees. A middle schooler is old enough to understand how badly they can damage the ecology of their environment. Just stop it, children, stop it. Over on the side of the enclosure, I see the door to the exhibit ajar. Was it unlocked this whole time? We gotta stop her before the staff sees and bans our school for life. Hugo looks around. I'll create a distraction. Hugo runs towards the puffin exhibit and addresses the entire room. Everybody, everybody, I have an announcement. The whole room turns towards Hugo. There's a few facts I bet you didn't know about penguins. Everybody just stares at Hugo confused. This is my shot. I run into the enclosure and greeted by a cold blast of air. Psst, hey! You can't be in here. Neither can you. Try to walk over to the girl, but the ground is so icy I just end up slipping. I catch myself before I hit the ground, but the girl still laughs at me. I will rugby tackle this child. I will. Contrary to popular belief, penguins are birds. Birds are traditionally known to fly, but penguins cannot. So I understand some confusion when we're discussing the birdness of penguins. The crowd is still somehow enraptured. Kid, what are you even doing? Let the penguins go. They deserve freedom. Again. This is an environment that suits them. You let them out into wherever we are that's probably hot because we're having barbecues. They'll get sick. Where are they even going to go? They're going to live in my closet. Look, I just don't even have the time to argue about this. We got to get out of here. Not until I save a penguin. Pick her up. Pick up that little brat and rugby ball toss her over the top of that glass. Little known fact, the penguins only live in cold climates. With some exceptions, they don't all live in cold climates if we're splitting hairs here. Did I mention that they don't fly? The crowd is starting to lose interest. I'm running out of time. Bribe her! I will give you $20 right now if you leave with me. Molly thinks for a second. Okay, well give it to me right now. Reach into my pocket and pull out everything I have, examining each bill. Okay, well I have $12 and some change. There's also a button here. Pay me the other rate later and we have a deal. We move to shake on our arrangement before I suddenly realise there's a wave of penguins on their way out of the enclosure. We're going to have to block these birds. Oh, it's a game! Is it a game?
Block that bird.
Yeah! Oh my god, it's pinball! Oh my god, I'm playing pinball with penguins. No penguin, I'm sorry! This is not for you! You're adorable and I love you, but stay out! All of you, get out of here! No penguins! You must all stay in your enclosure! I like that the hands slap each other. Get out! Get out! Bad, 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 bad! Go, 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 go! Oh my god! Get away! Get away! Go away, penguins! Stay in your enclosure! You do not want to go outside! Outside is bad! Outside will make you sick! Yeah! Why has the penguin got money? Mission complete. Penguin escaped. 0. Yeah, did it. Come on, no penguins escaped. Give me an S. Yes! Bribery works. Yes, it does. I saved the penguins. I am proud. And now I know I need to take a more circumspect approach to Hugo. Glad that's over, just in time too. Looks like Hugo is wrapping up his diversionary penguin speech. And that's why I think the penguins are one of the best animals in the world. few people in the audience clap out of a sense of duty. Everyone starts dispersing. Hugo spots us from across the way. Molly, what were you doing in there? It's liberating animals, Mr. Vega. You realise that the penguins can only survive in Arctic temperatures, right? You would have had a dead penguin on your hands. Well, it's the thought that gets... No! You would have killed an animal that is still, I think, endangered. Punishment! No, Molly, it wasn't. Molly turns to me. You owe me $8. What? Just, I'll pay you later, kid. Molly runs off towards Susan, I suppose so that they can compare animal thief notes. You're not off the hook, Molly. Cal, did you bribe a child? You can't play by the rules when there's penguins on the line. Listen, man, we've all done dark things in our lives. I'm not the young bright-eyed youth I used to be. That person believed in a world where you wouldn't have to bribe children to save a penguin. The me today knows different. I only wish I could go back. Let's just get through the day and get out of here. The day finally comes to a close. The whole field trip is ushered through the gift shop and we make our way back to the school buses. As we leave the aquarium, the kids load onto the buses. Hugo pulls me aside.
Oh.
Hey Cal, thank you so much for helping out today. You're a lifesaver. It was no problem. It was actually kind of fun. Let me take you out next time to make it up to you. You like cheese boards? Yes! I love cheese boards. Can't eat cake. Don't like biscuits. I love cheese boards with the grapes and the chutney and the different... Yes! I love them. I love them so much. There is nothing on earth more satisfying than a good cheese board. And if you roll up some like salami and prosciutto and like, oof. Yeah! I love that. Well, great. I gotta go make sure the kids don't steal anything else. See you around. I walk inside to find the house empty. I wonder where Panda's at. Before I know it, Amanda pops through the front door. What you up to tonight? Just doing some homework. How was the aquarium? 2 kids tried to break rules and I had to bribe one of them to make them leave behind a penguin that they would have murdered. Yeah.
Dad.
We've all been there. I had to run in and grab her before any of the employees saw.
Yes.
You got to go into the penguin enclosure? Did you steal a penguin for us? Amanda, no penguins were stolen thanks to the valiant efforts of myself and Mr. Vega. It was nice getting to spend some time with Hugo, though. I'm surprised he helped me cover a covert op. He's usually kind of a stick in the mud. He's actually pretty cool. I had a good time with him. That decided. I'm going for Mr. Vega. Alright, too much adventure for me today. I'm going to go rest my eyes. You mean take a nap? There's a difference. You'll learn when you become a father. I don't think she's ever going to become a father. Date complete. Respect went up. How'd I do? How'd I do? Ah,
What a great date.
no we didn't. We got B. A Sergio getter.
You've got dads.
Damazon? Dadazon. What does that say? This is Stephen from Dadazon. I'm out with your delivery. Okay, I'll be right down. Wait, no, sorry, I need to put on pants first. I can't find my pants, but I'm wrapped from waist down in a duvet. Are you cool with that? I can come back tomorrow. No, wait! I'll be down. The driver doesn't need to know that. So, I'm going to end this one here because that was a really nice date, I think. I came on too strong to Hugo, but that's okay because now I know he doesn't like that kind of thing. And we won't do that anymore. And then the next time I see him, I get to eat a cheese board. Yes, I want a cheese board. So, I hope you have a very lovely day. I hope you're enjoying this because I am very much so. I did not enjoy being told off, or I didn't enjoy Robert. I enjoyed the food, but I didn't enjoy him. But yeah, I hope you have a very lovely day, and most importantly of all, you do you.